Hello and welcome to my Bioshock 1 No Vita Chamber survival walkthrough. So let's say you want to beat the game with no Vita Chambers on survival mode. I'm going to make a walkthrough for the game. What is the point of this? This is for people who want to get the achievement. Maybe they're not so good at FPS games. I'll come up with a bunch of different, stupid things you can do to easily beat the game. There's also some things already known. Like in the early game, if you use telekinesis with a corpse, even on survivor mode, it is still pretty strong. So you can easily kill enemies just doing that. So, alright. So we're in the Welcome to Rapture section of the game right now. So let's get our wrench. So the first thing you can do with this couch is just kind of step back to avoid it. So that's good. And then you're going to be fighting a guy. This is your first real big boy fight. So what you want to do is strafe, dodge his attacks, try to hit him when he's out of range, and just keep moving like this. Easily deal with him. And after you've done that, you're going to want to loot for a second. There's quite a lot of items actually hidden in this area. I think there's some health kits in some of these. Alright, he has a health kit on him for sure. See, got some chips, pep bar. Alright. Let's go up here. Should be some stuff up here. So in this beginning section, they do hide a lot of items everywhere. Alright, let's see. Might also be semi-random as well. So, I mean, the placed items are always going to be there, but here we go. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So in this trash can, there's an extra health and Eve hypo. So every little bit helps in the beginning. A lot of people seem to have trouble in the beginning. This is probably the biggest tip I can give. You don't have to fight Big Daddies right away. You can actually travel back using the bathyspheres after you get better weapons and weapon upgrades and health upgrades from Adam. And you can actually kill the Big Daddies then. You don't have to fight them right away. So if you want to, conserve resources, you're better off not fighting Big Daddies right away. In the case of this playthrough, I am going to be fighting every Big Daddy as we encounter it. Probably with a little bit of preparation. We're going to have to sit through this cutscene. But you generally don't have to fight them right away. The game kind of tells you do, but the game is a sandbox, so you can always backtrack. Especially as you get the chemical thrower and the crossbow and weapon upgrades, so you don't have to fight them right away. But the game kind of tries to convince you do. So in this playthrough, I'm going to be saving Little Sisters. Harvesting is okay, but getting Armored Shell 2 and Hypnotize Big Daddy usually is worth it. And also you get other resources from the gifts, like ammo. Usually it's special ammo types that are hard to get. So that's not a bad thing to get. You will get slightly less atoms. So instead of getting 240 for every 3 you harvest, that's the extra difference. Because it's 80 to save, 160 to harvest. You will get 200 in the form of a gift, plus other items and tonics and plasmids. One of the best tonics in the game, I think it's Master Inventor or something, or Prolific Inventor. It causes your invented items to be doubled, and that can only be acquired from saving Little Sisters. So that's pretty broken. So so it's worth. I would say it's worth it just for that. Alright, so obviously you have to hit this. Go through this little cutscene here. Then you have your first fight with a plasmid. So the first fight was kind of to show you, to get used to just whacking something, and now they're trying to introduce using a plasmid with a whack. The interesting thing about plasmids is that they do have a cost, but the cost is almost negated when you're low on Eve. As long as you have even a sliver of Eve, if you use an ability, it'll still use it. Alright, so the game wants you to do this. I actually don't recommend using the 1-2 punch in this fight. You should just circle strafe this enemy and whack him out of his melee range to conserve on resources. And that's going to be kind of the theme of this playthrough, is looking for ways to conserve resources. So if you are at this point in the game, you should have around 4 health kits, maybe use 1 or 2. in those fights. If not, right now we're looking pretty good, so I'm actually going to just duel this dude and then save it. So I always try to keep a good distance away from enemies. Obviously I took a whack there, but need a health kit, why not? Alright, this guy's gonna run over here. These enemies can be kind of annoying because they just like run around a lot. Once you get Wrench Jockey 1, you can wrench a lot of enemies pretty effectively. Alright, so he actually gives us a health kit and Eve back. Alright, so I'm gonna save this. You can save at any time, so part of the way that you can... I don't know why I did it again. Alright, part of the way you can easily beat this is just from saving before difficult fights, and if you waste too many resources, you can either reload the fight, or just, you know, beat the fight and then save it after, or whatever. Alright, so for this guy, you can completely avoid him just by walking in here. He might have items on him, but just to save time, I'm just going to step in here instead. Alright, Atlas is going to give you a sob story. You can whack these metal pieces for fun to improve your whacking abilities. And then you get to the first like open-ended section of the game. So I'll section these videos off, so this will be Welcome to Rapture, Survivor Mode, walkthrough, and so on. I'll do like medical next. Or am I actually in medical now? Or no, not yet. Yeah, because he tells you to get the medical, right? Alright, so this is still Welcome to Rapture. Alright, so there's a health kit over here. Pretty useful to know. Alright, here's where you get the pistol. So you can be a little sloppy, but you don't want to... You can perfectly kill enemies without getting hit. Alright, so now that you have the pistol, you should not be using it yet, in my opinion. You should just be wrenching almost everything. The wrench is your best friend. There's health kits and like money almost everywhere, so exploration does matter. There is a pop-out, I think, here. So there should be... It's like a health kit. Don't drink the beer. It's going to make you drunk, obviously. Alright, there's a pop-out here. He's going to run around a little bit. So you can always wait for their attack out of attack range and then move into attack range to hit them, easily killing them. So for most basic enemies, this is what your approach should be, just to save resources. That looks like an enemy ran in here, but it's like some weird bug. Alright, let's see, are there enemies down here yet? Nope, alright. So, some sequenced events. So this game has... like, I want to say traps in it, where if you enter an area, enemies will spawn. So after you kill this guy, enter here, kill the lady in there, enemies will spawn in here, and you can shock the water. So we'll just kill Harold. Harold! Oh, it's Charlie, sorry. Charlie! Where you going? Alright, so when dealing with gun enemies, you can generally circle strafe them, and they will just kind of push you back and sometimes whack you. Obviously, I can't circle strafe her because of, like, this crap in the way, but in a lot of cases, you can circle strafe them. If you don't know what circle strafing is, that's just using movement, like just moving in a circle like this around something. And what will happen is most gun enemies cannot even hit you at all when you're doing this. So just something to keep in mind. Alright, so here is the one spawn. Shock them, kill them pretty much instantly. You can use water in this way. You can jump, like... jump into water and then jump on top of something and shock it. This can be extremely useful. So I don't use the pistol in the beginning because it's kind of not even really good, and you want to save ammo for Big Daddy fights anyways. And the wrench is pretty strong. There's some health kits in here. Some Eve hypos laying around. So right now you should start the game off with a pretty high amount of resources. You can listen to audio tapes if you want, but make sure you really explore, because there are quite a bit of hidden things in this game in general. Some dead bodies here. What is this? Can't shock that now. Okay. Alright, so the next place you need to go is just over here. Oh wait, I didn't check over here yet. Another first aid kit, some cash. So we have 8 first aid kits. Max is 9, so we're starting the game off really well. We're actually just going to skip this enemy. There's no reason to kill it unless it has good loot, but we don't know that. So what we're just going to do is just walk in here. Alright, that door closes behind you. And this is a good part to save. Or it won't let me because it's cutscene. Alright. But this is where they introduce you to Big Daddies. Alright, so... Alright, so Atlas goes into his dialogue about a sweet little baby girl being turned into monsters. And then some guy. Like, it's weird that there's no Big Daddy yet. Like, he kind of... Actually, I don't even know where he comes from. Let's find out. Let's see. I don't know if he follows him in. Oh, he's up there. He's right up there, okay. Wait, was he up there the whole time? You can kind of see him in the corner. He's just like waiting. I wonder if you can see him when you're coming in. I never noticed that. There might be like a wall in the way, but this dude gets messed up. Alright, so one thing to note about the pistol, because this is the first weapon you get, the pistol is a decent weapon. However, you want to get headshots with it, because it has a 4 times damage multiplier on headshots. So if you ever like watch someone playing this game, they say like, you know, the pistol is terrible. It's not it is pretty weak, but it's not like horrible. If you get headshots, especially with anti-personnel rounds, it can be decent. There's a few items in here. There's also this little director's commentary, which is cool. But you can loot both of these bodies, so you might as well. And then I think there's some other items somewhere else, but let's see. I generally try to avoid drinking alcohol in the game. Alright, here we go. Circle strafing time. As you can see here, she's having an extremely hard time hitting us, and all I'm doing is moving in a circle and smacking her with a wrench at around medium range so she can't melee me. And that's all it takes. Alright, let's save it now just to have a nice little save. Alright, great. This is a good place to save because there's a pretty big fight coming up, but it can be pretty easy if you just use Electro Bolt. I just shot him in the body just because he was one shot, so why not? Make sure you're always looking for things, looting. Alright, so this part's easy, you just shock these guys. Wait for the electricity to die down. Takes a minute, alright. Loot them. Okay, get some good money. Alright, so... Alright, you can actually loot before you do all this, so don't go over to that doorway yet. Oh, there's like whiskey in there, of course. Alright, so I'm gonna loot before I go in there. And the reason for this is there won't be enemies, really. And also, I think there might be an enemy in here to clear out ahead of time. You can get these bandages. There should be a health kit in here, I believe. Yeah, right here. Alright, so now that we're done looting, enemies are going to come down from here. You can just shock the water. Make sure you reload your syringe. So you go in here. Turret pops up. It's a flamer turret. Back off. You're going to have to kill these enemies. Easiest way to do that is just to shock the water. They'll just like die as they come in. And you can also like hold an angle so they can't shoot you. Some of them have guns. Alright, so you just shock the water. Some of them won't be in the water. Like this guy, he's an overachiever. He's just doing his own thing. So I'm just going to kind of hold this position. Whoops. I'm being a little careless because I have 9 medkits, so... Alright, there should be more guys, I believe. Yeah, here they come. So you can shock them in the water or just shock the water, both work. And all the enemies will just die. And then make sure to loot them before you head out. Yeah, you'll get a few bullets, few dollars. Then you just make your way to medical. What are you waiting for? Get moving! Get moving there, boyo. Get moving to medical there, boyo. Alright. Alright, then this happens. Andrew Ryan's a big meanie. So if you get to this point, congratulations, you made it to the second level, I guess, in survivor mode with the chambers off. So yeah, I'll see you in the medical video.